today we're going to go over the Rise Vocal Method. Your voice is linked to your purpose and why God created you. And so my heart is to help Christian voices to be set free to sing the way God originally intended for them to sing. Not putting the voice or the sound in a box, not what it should sound like, but revealing what God had originally created it for. Romans 8:19 says, the entire universe is standing on tiptoe, yearning to see the unveiling of God's glorious sons and daughters. Are you ready to come alive and thrive in how God created your voice? Well, the Rise Vocal Method has 5 simple steps to a great singing voice. The steps will give you strength and confidence to sing, so nothing's going to hold you back. But first, let's see if you're in the right place. Do you avoid certain songs? Like when you attempt to sing the song, you can hear when that part comes where you can't reach it. It just makes you cringe. What about in your mind, you kind of think someone else should be singing this song? Or here comes that note. I can't get to that note. I've been there. You're in the right place if that's you. Do you find yourself reaching with your neck for the high notes, right? You're kind of like, I'm trying to get there. You make everything happen with your neck and maybe your eyebrows. Getting to those notes, making the sound strained, right? It sounds strained. It sounds cut off. It sounds a little flat. If that's you, you're in the right place. What about, does your voice get tired after you sing a few songs? Or you trail off at the end of a phrase thinking there's not enough power. I don't have enough to get to the end of the phrase or even throughout the entire song. You're in the right place. Does your voice hurt after you sing? Again, the Rise Method will help all of these issues. How about this one? Are you afraid of looking foolish? Or maybe you've had a past choir teacher, leader, worship leader, pastor told you your sound wasn't good enough, that you weren't good enough. We try to pretend these words don't bother us, but it hurts. It really hurts. And they're not always truth. But what it does do, it squashes our joy for singing the way God created us. And we kind of stuff it back and saying, well, maybe I'm going to agree with it and say I wasn't intended originally because I don't fit in. It plants the fear and it plants doubt in our mind. So if you can relate to any of these stories, you are in the right place. That was my story. I was told that my voice was not good enough and that my sound was not wanted. And that hurt. It made me doubt whether or not I was supposed to lead worship. And really, honestly, what they were saying was probably not truth, but I didn't know how to get out of it. I didn't know how to be led exactly where I was supposed to be. I was thinking, why doesn't someone invest in me? Why doesn't someone invest in moving me up to where I need to be? Because if I'm not where I'm supposed to be, can someone help me? So that was when I finally hired an amazing vocal coach. Now, I've had lessons, vocal training for years. I've had vocal teachers tell me I have an amazing voice. So it wasn't like I didn't know what I was doing, but I needed a vocal coach that understood my voice, that believed in me, and knew how I could get to the breakthrough. Because singing is emotional. Where our emotions are at the moment is what people see from the stage. And if there's contentions, if there's strivings, if there's anything that's in your spirit while you're leading, that's what's going to show up. If there's doubt, if there's fear. And we got to think about, we're telling God's story. She taught me that the enemy had a plan for me too. He wanted to shut me down and silence me. Well, no more. When my eyes got open and I actually see what was happening, I did not want to fall into the enemy's trap again and again. No longer can he use previous teachers, leaders, pastors to shut me down. If I would have believed what others had thought about my voice, I would never have had so many doors of opportunity open for me. And now This has allowed me to help others in that same process. This is where I met Linda. Linda's daughter was part of my youth worship leader in training program. And as I was speaking to Linda one day, she had played the clarinet in the band. And her band teacher told her she had a talent for music. But because she did not have family support and she doubted who she was, she was 16, 17 years old, she was not given the opportunity to foster the gift that God had blessed her with. But it was always a dream that was in the back of her mind. I told her that it was possible, that anything was possible, that it wasn't too late, and that if you would just give me a chance, I would help her make that dream a reality. Sometimes life comes at you and it sidetracks you from what you're really supposed to be doing. But it's never too late. God will get you there eventually. My most recent testimony comes from Diana. Diana has been a worship leader for years. She experienced a miracle with just the basic techniques that I taught her. I have to admit, I cannot take credit for that. That was all God. But Diana did take the bold step to sign up and upgrade her vocal technique and go deeper in intimacy with the Lord. But it's really not about vocal technique. It's about helping each one of my students step into their unique sound. The world needs an encounter with God now more than ever. And for the last 15 years, I have successfully coached vocalists to make their dreams a reality. So the RISE method starts with the heart. H-E-A-R-T. The first letter, H, is the health of your voice. Your voice is your instrument, and it's really important to know exactly how to take care of it, from what to eat and what not to before singing or speaking, all the way to what your throat really needs to be in tip-top shape. Grab the opportunity at the end of this video to meet with me so I can give you more information on how to take care of your voice and avoid injury and burnout. The E in heart is efficient placement. Learn how not to struggle with straining or forcing the voice to produce a sound, to use a grovel or a breathy sound sparingly, and find your awesome sauce in singing. The ability to sing with a balance of both chest and head voice is so important. That way, you won't abruptly switch, creating a cracking or rough sound. It also helps to eliminate bad habits that hinder your voice from its fullest potential. The A in heart is airflow foundations. Whether you are a beginner not knowing where to begin or a seasoned veteran, knowing and reminding your body how to breathe correctly is the fuel behind great singing. Even I need to be reminded, especially during allergy seasons or if you have any type of breathing issues, because singing from your diaphragm is actually a misnomer. So, know how to operate your sound by controlling the way the air comes in and out of your body. The R in heart is room to soar. Creating that room to soar higher is creating space for the sound to resound. Instead of using your neck or eyebrows to reach those higher notes, I call it creating space. It's another part of the equation to effortlessly hit the higher notes and extend your range with ease. Vowel modification is also a key component of this step. When both placement and step are functioning together, it creates that rich and beautiful tone that we all want. The T in heart is truth in your spirit, freedom, power, resonant, and a vulnerable sound. Simple to do, right? Sometimes the things that improve our singing the most will have nothing to do with singing at all. No amount of technique or practice or anything that we can do is what's needed. There comes a time when you've done all that you need, and then you just gotta be who God says you are and let Him do the doing. And that is where the secret place comes into play. You need a well to pull from, and if you don't have one, you will be burnt out. So, to gain excellence, freedom, and strength in your voice, you need to be disciplined and have an authentic spirit. You need both. An authentic spirit is what people need to see and hear right now. So in this program, there will be simple daily exercises that will train and retrain bad habits that you might have learned along the way. And we will learn to eliminate the words that I can't. And we will speak life over our words by speaking scripture. We will learn to use correct techniques in the application of an actual song and not just the technique itself. You can go on YouTube and learn that technique. But in here, you're going to learn the technique, and then I'm going to show you how to do it in the song. Here is one of my students after 1 month of lessons. This is what she wrote in her review. Amanda really lacked the confidence to get on stage to lead. She knew deep down inside of her, God was calling her to lead. Yet she did not know how to get started. Many worship leaders of churches just do not have the time or the resources to help. That is where Rising Fire Music mentorship programs help fill the gap. When you take these steps together, taking care of your voice, practicing the daily simple exercises and techniques, working on real songs together, and speaking life over your talent, you will achieve the amazing voice that God created within you. You will have confidence and be the vessel that God created you to be. Imagine that you're on that stage singing so incredibly well with so much power and expression that when people listen to your voice, they feel the presence of God. Upgrade your unique sound with the RISE method to help untap the gifts and abilities that are locked inside of you. God deserves our highest level of praise and our highest level of excellence. Go from unsure, pitchy, shy to strong, powerful, and confident. You are meant to be a sweet fragrance of the Lord. Your next step is to schedule your 15-minute audit. It's free. It's also no pitch. It will be on Zoom. This is where I personally audit your voice, so I can give you specific feedback and insight on what you need to improve your voice and be the vessel that God created you to be. If after the call you're interested in the mentorship program, we can set up a separate call to talk about programs and prices. Have an amazing day.